Hello and welcome to today's live stream here on LinkedIn. My name is Bernd Bayer. I'm with C&T Management Consulting, and I'm excited you are joining us to the live stream, Jumpstarting SAP Procurement with Catalog Accelerators. I am super excited about this event. This is a new format for us. We don't usually do LinkedIn Live events. We usually do Zoom, which is a bit easier, but this is more fun because it gets streamed in directly to the platform we use probably on a day-to-day basis. I'm joined by Chris and Michael. I have a formal introduction for the two gentlemen here later, and I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. So with me again, Christopher Foti, who is a very knowledgeable person about anything in terms of SAP procurement, and so is Michael Kern. So when it comes to authority, knowledge, and experience in SAP procurement, there's really nobody I know beating the two, and I have them as a team here, so I'm super excited. I am your host today. I'm with C&T Management Consulting based in Atlanta, Georgia, here in the United States, and I will walk you through the presentation today and do a brief intro. Before we get started, setting the expectation, what we want to relay today is the idea of formalizing your procurement processes, formalizing P2P. And it would mean for you, how can you process more spend with less time and cost? And the idea behind it is, of course, automation with SAP, with Ariba, and of course, with the SalesLayer integration. And then we want to show you today a way how you can jumpstart your savings before you even have the system in place and lay the groundwork for the full catalog at a later point. For the agenda, we're going to walk through a quick introduction, which is going to be me. We're going to talk about the catalogs. Chris is going to talk about that. We're going to show mostly live demos today. So Chris is going to show a catalog live demo, and Michael is going to show the complete SAP Ariba and S/4HANA integration. And I'm going to join at the end with the takeaways. And before I'm going to start, I would like to ask Chris to introduce SalesLayer because he can do this much better than I can.
Thank you, Bernd, and I will happily do so. Hello, everyone. I'm streaming to you from just north of Boston. SalesLayer, the company which I joined almost 2 years ago, is over 10 years old. We have over 300 customers in over 50 countries. We do product information management and B2B catalog solutions. What we offer is simple, built-in integration to SAP S4 and to Ariba. It allows you to create catalogs in 2 weeks, sometimes as little as 2 days, without needing to bother your IT staff. That's us, Bernd.
Great. And from the C&T side, a brief introduction. We just celebrated our 25th year anniversary being an SAP system integrator, and we have been focusing on the SAP space for the last 25 years. We have 450 consultants headquartered in Vienna, Austria, and again, our team here in the United States, where I am calling out of. We cover the complete SAP spectrum of solutions, and we have a dedicated practice for procurement. And we are very keen working with SalesLayer because if you think about the SAP ecosystem, we need add-ons in certain areas. We need things that make certain areas easier for you. So the SalesLayer catalog solution and our SAP expertise is really a winning solution. I'm going to expand on that in a little as well. I want to introduce, however, C&T first. Again, our procure to pay practice is part of our complete SAP portfolio. So we not only do procurement, we also do S/4HANA, we do finance, we do manufacturing, we do warehouse, we do human resources. Anything in regards to SAP is covered by us implementation, upgrades, new projects, roll in and roll outs, and all you can think of terms of SAP. And then for the Ariba portfolio, when we zoom in, we are very strong on the supplier side, which is a topic for today. The procurement itself, of course, topic for today. And then when it comes to strategic sourcing, managing RFP, managing contracts, managing supply chain, supply risk. And we are very keen on integrating third parties, SalesLayer again for the catalogs, but we also work with, for example, Amazon Business or Integrity Next or EcoVadis when it comes to sustainability ratings and get that data into the SAP system. And that's all I had as a quick introduction. I probably talked more than I should have, but I'm gonna hand it over to Chris, and then Chris gonna hand it over to Michael here in a minute.
Thanks, Bernd. So we're talking about catalogs in procure to pay and P2P. And catalogs are one of the ways that people don't always think about making things better, but they really are one of the underlying foundational turbo boosters that you can use to really amp up each of your procurement metrics. And let me talk about that a little bit. We showed this earlier, and we said that the formal procure to pay process, it means processing more spend with less time and cost. What does that mean? It means that you focus your spend on the approved items, the only things that your employees should be buying. They should be buying from vetted suppliers, not suppliers who are going to get you into trouble, or suppliers that are going to charge you extra because you've got negotiated prices, right? You need to restrict that spend to authorized purchases. Again, does the management say that this is okay? And is it within the allocated budget for that particular department? These are the ways that we save money, the ways that we spend less time, the ways that we make a more efficient procurement process for our companies. With SalesLayer and C&T together, the neat thing is that buyers, even if they're already on S4 or even ECC, they can jumpstart those P2P savings before they even have a system like SAP Ariba in place. It's pretty simple. We set up a digital punch-out catalog for the key suppliers of that buyer. We let their employees shop those catalogs, and they can punch directly out from S4, or they can follow a link to a website if they want to separately. In that shopping, in that e-commerce where they're looking for what they need, search, filter, browse, buy, they add to their shopping carts, but those shopping carts are sent back to S4 for whatever approval and processing a company's already set up, or as I said, even to ECC. But then as the company moves on in their Ariba journey, in their P2P journey, it is quick and it is effortless to take those same catalogs and transition them to SAP Ariba once it is deployed. So you don't lose anything, you just really pull it forward. And that's kind of what I'm showing with my flip the script slide here, right? It can take 4 to 12 months, honestly, if you start with your configuration of something like Ariba guided buying, you set up the commerce automation to move the files back and forth, and finally, you set up those supplier catalogs. And that's traditional. But if you flip the script, and what you do is start setting up those catalogs, and you use something that's automated and pre-integrated like SalesLayer, really about 2 weeks, you could have your major suppliers, your key suppliers already in catalogs, and your entire company can be searching, browsing, and buying from those suppliers in those digital catalogs while you bring up your new Ariba configuration and your commerce automation. And then, as I said, the punch-out catalogs can then be realigned back to SAP Ariba in a day, so you don't lose anything. And it's transparent because they're the same catalogs that your buyers, your employees, have been shopping from during the whole time. In terms of creating catalogs, SalesLayer makes it faster. We make it easier for suppliers' sales teams to create catalogs for the SAP Business Network. And this is key because you've got a lot of suppliers out there who are great. They're strong suppliers. You think of the Lenovo's, the Dells, the Staples. These are folks who have e-commerce catalogs already built. They're pre-built. They know how to integrate. Whenever a buyer joins the network, they can come up and have them buying quickly. But for the next tier down, these are companies that you may still be spending tens and maybe even hundreds of millions of dollars with. But they don't necessarily already have an e-commerce presence on the Ariba network, the SAP Business Network. And so we can help them. We want to get your spend there faster so that you're saving money, so that your employees can find what they're looking for. So we help by organizing the data, by building a digital catalog, and by publishing that catalog. And that's pretty much what my demonstration is going to be here. I'm going to show you just a little taste of organizing that data, and then we'll build up the digital catalog, and we'll talk about publishing. I'll show you how it will work, and then after that, Michael will show you what it looks like when you summon it directly from Ariba. So I'm going to work to shift us to a demo screen, Give me one moment while I do that. Let's see if that'll work. And then Bernd, if you can help me make sure. There's our screen. Everyone, you should be seeing SalesLayer. Welcome. This is a UI that was designed for business users. It's not designed for IT. It's not it is a dashboard for a brand manager or a dashboard for a sales vice president. So everything you see me walk through should be menu driven, should be simple, and it's not going to require a lot of code. So right now I've got an empty SalesLayer instance. I'm going to show you that because I'm going to, well, let's go into products and I'll show you. There are no products here, right? So let me bring in some products. All right. Now, when you talk to suppliers, the vast majority of them will tell you we've got spreadsheets, but we've also got files that we pull from our ERP. We've got files that we pull from our PLM. We've got files that we may have even in CRM. For the product information, and it's all got to come together. I sort of simulated that a little bit. I've got a spreadsheet with multiple tabs, and you might have one tab of things that come from ERP and one from CRM or PLM. You may even have multiple ERPs, and this is why it becomes a challenge to create a single catalog file, especially if you've got a multinational buyer that you're putting things together for, where you may be pulling from literally different ERPs from different servicers. So for us, we make it super simple. We've got all the integration, but the easiest thing to show you is the one that happens most often, and that is that integration to a spreadsheet. What's it like? How does someone who's maybe only a $50 million supplier get their things in quick and easy? So honestly, the easiest thing to do is cut and paste. And cut and paste, obviously, been around forever. That's not a particularly impressive functionality. But when we bring it in here, what we do afterwards is a little impressive. We look and say, these are the columns that we think you're talking about for the product, right? This is what we think it is. This is your product reference number. This is the family, the category that you're talking about. We think this is your product description in English. This looks like your product description in Spanish, and we've got dozens of languages to work with. German, the category reference, product images. Maybe you're missing a couple of things that we would normally expect, but we've got all of these in, and what this allows us to do is take that file and we'll go ahead and import it in, right? So it's just quickly uploading and parsing, categorizing, putting this into the product information management system within SalesLayer. And it happens pretty quickly as you see it go through. I'm going to do this one more time. That's 106 items. But as I said, you may have other items. Oops, you're not. I'm going to share this tab so you can see it. You didn't see my spreadsheet earlier. You may have other items in a different spreadsheet, or they may be coming, as I said, from an ERP draw extract or a PLM extract. Could be a number of things. So you might have to load different fields. You might have for the same products, or you might have new products as well that hadn't been included. So we're going to go back and do more of an import, right? We'll do one more on top and we'll drop it in. All right. So here we go. I'm just going to do the same thing. This time I might have some fields that I didn't have last time, and I'm going to add it in. Some are going to be duplicated. We can continue. That's all right. So I told you what we'd be doing is organizing the data. The first step is getting that data in. The next step is going to be taking a look at it and really looking at the data and saying, what is it I have? What is it I don't have? You can scroll through. You can click in. Let me take a look and see. One of the things I like to look for is a MacBook because it's something that most of us can relate to. And there's one. I can look at the data I've got. I've only really got 50% of the fields that I need for my MacBook, things that I want. And I can look through, I can edit. Now, like I said earlier, this is something that's built to be managed by a brand manager, right? So I may need to move some things around. I may want to redesign the way my catalog looks. This isn't how the catalog looks, but this will control what fields are shown on what tabs in my catalog. So I can move things around if I want to, change names, resize, etc. But it's a short demo. One of the things I really wanted to show you is especially if I have 5 versions of the MacBook, each with 4 different colors, each with 12 different screen sizes and memory sizes and processors. That becomes a lot to have to go and write a product description. Instead, I can just run through and let GPT figure out the product description for me based on all the attributes that I've already put in to the solution. So all those fields that I loaded up, those have been turned into a description, which we can now see here, right? So I can, I'm going to not save that in the interest of time and not messing up the demo, but we can do that. And I should say also, once you have all that, being able to turn it into German, or to have GPT write it natively in German or in Spanish, or any of the other languages that we want to go through, is a huge help. This is what helps those smaller suppliers serve you as though they were much larger suppliers, and you get the same level of information out of it. So we'll drop back out of that. And I am going to do a quick check. So I've shown you enriching the product data. I do want to show you the quality report. And this is where we can look through and find out how we're doing in terms of quality. Here are the fields where we've got all of them filled out for those products I brought in. But some categories, some fields I don't have. There are some fields where, maybe I've got width, height, depth, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. And if I click into any of them, I get a list of these products that need the Bluetooth field filled in. Now I can fill it in here, simply just in a table format, right? Very similar to a spreadsheet, or I could go in to each of the individuals and edit them there. But I've got that ability to do this and to only show the products that have a full or maybe a 75% or an 80%, but I can set what level of quality I want before I let those go into my catalog. And lastly, to wrap up my demo, I wanted to show you how we auto-integrate, and that is honestly the easiest one right here because it's already built in. So in the time that we've spent going from 0, I now have the ability to create, oh my goodness, I've been showing you the spreadsheet instead of the solution. I now have the ability to show you how to create the file. It is simple as clicking the button. The integration is there. So we could literally, in the 5-10 minutes that I've been presenting, we've built a catalog that you could push to your buyers on SAP Ariba or in SAP S4 HANA. So I'm going to slow my presentation down. I will, let me stop my share there, and I'll bring it back to Bernd and say, Bernd, I know that I missed some of the things. Is there anything you need me to recover because I wasn't showing the screen at one point?
No, and it took me a minute to figure out because you were still talking about the spreadsheet, but in your mind you were already in SalesLayer. I think you're good. I think
Excellent.
You're good.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Chris. And we're going to go right next into the SAP side, the extra fun side on top of the Ariba catalogs. And who better to talk about SAP and Ariba other than our Michael Kern. So Michael, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Bernd, and also Chris. Thank you very much for showing us how to build catalogs. As Bernd already mentioned, I will show you how you can now leverage these catalogs that you build in your procurement solution. Could be Ariba, could be S4, Chris already showed us that after you build the catalog in SalesLayer, with just a click, you can create a catalog file that you need to load into Ariba. So we see here that we will look at the 3 process types, basically. We will start with Ariba, and in Ariba we have the ability to load a punch-out level 1 and a punch-out level 2 catalog, and then we will also see how we can leverage the SalesLayer catalogs directly out of S4. So let's start with the Ariba side of things. I will also share my screen, which you should be able to see now. And I'm looking at my guided buying solution. We will not do like a technical demo today, but just for some context, if I want to add a catalog to my Ariba solution, I need this catalog file that I can load into my solution. And this is exactly what Chris was showing us at the end of his presentation. After you build the catalog, you can easily create with just one click the catalog file that you need. It can be a level 1 punch out and it can be a level 2 punch out. Just for your reference, level 1 basically means that I just load a link to the external catalog. Level 2 means that I actually load all the products into my guided buying solution, so I can see and search the products right in my guided buying solution. But for the final purchase, I will punch out into the external catalog, and I will show you both versions, both flavors of it. Now let's start with the level 1. I've loaded the catalogs already, so this is technical administration stuff that I don't want to bother you with today. So I've loaded the catalogs already, and I can now use my guided buying experience here to locate the catalogs and use them. The level 1 catalog, I can search here. The supplier connected to it is the Tempo supplier, and I can see a tile here that represents the catalog of SalesLayer. So this is my representation, and with just one click, I can actually punch out to SalesLayer. So I'm now forwarded to the SalesLayer's catalog, and this is how the end user will experience the catalog. So whatever content you load into your SalesLayer catalog will be presented like this to the end user. And obviously, we have just a couple of sample products here. So I could go into the computer section and add my Apple Magic Mouse to my shopping cart in SalesLayer. So I have one item in my cart, and then I could also go to my audio section here and add this speaker. Add it to the shopping cart as well. And obviously the content that we see here reflects exactly what you have built in your SalesLayer solution previously. So whenever you have configuration options like here, color options, you can select those options before you put them into your shopping cart. And once you have put together all the products that you would like to purchase into your shopping cart, you can punch back into your Ariba solution, and the system will simply transfer those products into your Ariba shopping cart. So we can now see that here a requisition has been created on the guided buying side, and the 2 products that I've selected out of SalesLayer are transferred back to my guided buying. The advantage is that I can now complete my purchase, including all the or following the process that I need to follow to make purchases inside my organization, which basically means I can actually do all my accounting information. I will have all approvals applied that I have built in my Ariba solution. And at the end of the day, Ariba will create the purchase order in my backend, in my ERP system. This process is something I will not go into detail today. This is really standard Ariba, completing the purchase requisition, completing the shopping cart that we see here, only that really the products that I've selected in SalesLayer are transferred here automatically. So this is how the level 1 integration works. Now let me show you how the second process, the level 2 punch out works. I will leave this shopping cart and just search for my supplier name here. And if I do so, I can select my supplier, and I see 32 items now. So I don't see just one tile with one representation of the external catalog, but I really see the single products, which makes it easier for me to navigate. I can even compare the products from the SalesLayer catalog with potential external supplier catalogs that have been loaded as well. So I have really the option to compare this here. You might have noticed, though, that within the solution here, within guided buying, I cannot put the items to my shopping cart right away. But I have this buy from supplier option, which actually means buy from the external catalog. So if I click this button here, I will punch out to the external catalog again, and the system will even drive me right to the product that I came from. So I'm right here at my electrical scooter. And from here, the process is pretty much the same as we have seen before. I can add this product to my shopping cart. I can still browse and search inside SalesLayer and add other products to my shopping cart, so I can do so as well. It's just a direct deep link into the product I came from, but I can add as many products as I want to my shopping cart. And then I can go from here just like I did before, and transfer this product into my Ariba guided buying shopping cart. So as you can see, it's totally seamless. There is no need to log in and log out. It's really a traditional punch out solution into the guided buying shopping cart. And again, from here, you would just proceed. You will add your cost center information and then push this requisition into the approval chain that was set up in Ariba. Now, this is how you can leverage the SalesLayer catalogs out of the Ariba solution. And after we've seen this, there might be cases where you want to leverage the catalog right out of the SAP system, your backend system. This could be, for instance, if you use plant maintenance and you have a work order and you need spare parts for your work order. You could jump out of a requisition directly into SalesLayer. And I will show you a direct way how to do this. So let me share my S4 system here. Just give me a second to switch the screens. And you should now be able to see my S4 system. I will keep this short also for the sake of time. So I will just pull up a screen to create a purchase order. So this is the standard screen of creating purchase orders in S4 or ECC. That's pretty similar, actually. And in this case, the technology used is not the CXML-based punch-out technology, but it's an OCI-based technology. And I can add, in my customizing, I can add the SalesLayer catalog to my external catalogs, and I will find them here through this button. So I have really this one and only catalog set up right now. And just like I did out of Ariba, I can now jump into the SalesLayer solution, which is now loaded inside my S4 screen. And from here, it's again pretty much the same. I can navigate through the catalog. I can look at my products. I can put my products into the shopping cart and then transfer back the line items. Only this time, they will create line items in my S4 PO instead of my guided buying solution. And this is really, I think, how the process works, how you can integrate a SalesLayer into your procurement solutions. And with this, I will hand it back to Bernd for the next point on the agenda.
Super. And Michael, many thanks for the introduction. And it's so interesting because I am in sales and I usually look at software through the perspective of PowerPoint. I see software on slides and it's always refreshing to see the actual software and see what the customers are going to work with. So I really appreciate that we are looking at this live and not on slides, and appreciate you spending time and Chris preparing the demo for today.
Absolutely.
I want to continue with quick takeaways. This is only scheduled for 30-ish minutes, and we have 2 more summaries I want to bring up. And the first is the takeaway. So why did we do this presentation today, and what can you take away as somebody working in procurement? So you should, if you don't work with punch-out catalogs, you should work with punch-out catalogs. If you don't work well with punch-out catalogs, you should work on getting them better, because they are saving time and money for everybody who is involved. The idea of SalesLayer is really have it pre-integrated, and less than 2 weeks, it's a no-code implementation. And I don't want to take away the thunder from Chris, but if you do it right, it's not that complicated to implement it. So, and then with the SalesLayer, you can do it much faster and better. And then the key point, what Chris was mentioning, is instead of planning your Ariba implementation, and you need to do all of that. You have to have the long-term vision for your buying, but just start with the catalogs ahead of time, and then put Ariba on top of it, and that makes your processes so much faster, and you can show value quicker to your internal and external customers. You are enabling your suppliers with technical capabilities. In the whole Ariba world, I think the supplier is dramatically overlooked. So we got to do much more for the suppliers, and this is one option to do so. And then integrate it easily with SAP Ariba and with SAP S/4HANA. And then again, the combination with CNT management consulting and SalesLayer as a combination is going to really help you. So what can you do from here? So we try to connect you on LinkedIn and send you a copy of the slide deck presentation, or you can also connect directly with me, with Michael, with Chris for a copy of the slide deck. You can look at this demo much more detailed and tailored to your individual requirements. So we can actually set up a demo with your product or your specific niche requirements, if there is a niche requirement or just a generic. We have an offering where we do a mini assessment. You tell us about your landscape. We can tell you how the solution would fit in. And then SalesLayer decided they're going to sponsor a free pilot. There is effort involved on the SalesLayer side, and they agreed that they do a free pilot, and we're going to provide some help with that from CNT side. And then most important, if you come to Spend Connect in October, we're going to be there. We have a booth. We are one of the sponsors. So please stop by, see me, see Michael, and we would look forward to see you at Spend Connect. And with this, we are at the end. Again, I want to thank Michael. I want to talk Chris, and I appreciate everybody's time today, and hope you have a good day. And we're going to go ahead and close the transmission now. Thanks, and bye-bye.